welcome to RSF1's Tier 4 division, coming to you live around the British Grand Prix. It's round number 11 of the championship, and we are officially past halfway in the season, so the end of the season is becoming nearer and nearer. I think we could be like we are 3 or 4 weeks away from Singapore. It's scary, but here we are. It's going very fast paced, and that's what we like. My name is RSF from Brundle, and I am will be joined by Brutal Reapers here tonight, but for now I am by myself, but that's perfectly fine. I have just enough voice left in me, considering I've done 4 streams this week, and it's been a very interesting week of races. They've all provided something of interest to keep my interest, as well as whoever I've commentated with as well, and the viewers have seemed to enjoy it as well, so F4 should wrap things up very nicely at Silverstone before we don't get to see it for another few months or so. Don't know when the exact time is to get back to Silverstone, but yeah, we'll be heading to Hungary next, so we are just about ready to go. Everyone's just readying up now, so got a bit of time here until we're into the lobby. Hopefully everyone is okay whenever they watch this, or whenever, if you're watching live, of course. But yeah, so it should be a very entertaining Grand Prix. Those of you that remembered last time out in Austria, we had a race-on battle between the Alfa Romeo of RS Prost and the Racing Point of Duffer Lump, which Duffer ended up coming out on top. And in doing so, he has reduced the gap at the top of the championship from Prost down to 11 points tonight. So Duffer, if he can repeat the feat tonight, he can very much take the lead of the championship going into Hungary. So a little bit of incentive maybe for Duffer into tonight. Obviously recently became a father only a couple of weeks ago, so again, congratulations to him when he watches this back. But yeah, we are ready and set to go. There are a couple of new drivers in tonight, and I'll go over them. You may see on the list of names there a little bit of difference, or little new names that are popped up, but I'll go over each and every one of them as we begin. So question is, are we going to get any wet weather? Because we have had a couple of instances this week, not a lot of it. Maybe we can have something different. Maybe we can have a wet race tonight. That would really shake things up as we are waiting for RS Prost, hopefully, because normally when this happens, there we go, never mind, ignore me, I thought things were going wrong. I was panicking already, but here we go. Let's get things underway. What is the weather forecast as we head into the track? A couple of absentees here tonight, 17 drivers, but it's still a lot better than it was in France. And I've got to say a big thank you to Camo and to Shane when they watch their back, or if they're watching now, for the help of bringing a few of these new drivers in. I did find a few of them myself, but obviously they needed assistance to come into the lead, check up on a few things. So again, thank you for those that helped out in that. So let's go through them, shall we? Obviously, if you guys watched last week, you remember Marine Spider in the Alpha Tauri. He is back this week. Had a difficult race last time out, has to be said, but I'm sure that was just first race nerves. Josh, who was in the Ferrari, is not here tonight, but I'll tell you who is in the Ferrari, who has just come out, is Toxic MW. Now, you remember Toxic CW in the F1 race? Well, he's racing tonight, Toxic CW. This is Toxic MW. So that is not going to be confusing whatsoever. Yeah, a friend of Toxic CW, so we got another one in the Ferrari. He's now full-time seat in the Ferrari. And again, I hope Ferrari can really get some points on the board. They do have points on the board, 25 from that race win. I don't know if you guys remember Leon from Canada, completely dominated proceedings in that race. He's now in F2, so that says everything. But welcome to Toxic MW to the league. Hopefully he can have a good start to his campaign in RSF1. The other new driver is UK Demons. He is a reserve driver, but he is reserving for AlphaTauri tonight. Because I believe Raikkonen is working tonight, so he's not racing. And then we got this XI Creamy in the Red Bull. He is a full-time driver in Red Bull to partner alongside Fish Sticks. So those are all your new drivers. Again, all the best to them in their endeavours in RSF1. So, and Toxic MW is going to be the first driver out, right in front of the guy that normally starts us off in Q1. Primus Gaming there. So Primus's spot of the first hot lap is taken away. So let's ride on board with Toxic MW in the Ferrari. That screaming Ferrari engine in the background as he heads down into turn 1. Slightly overcast, well not overcast, it was cloudy. So there might be some rain later on, but I'm just hoping really, because I want rain. Into turn 3 and then turn 4, slowing it all down. Got to get the traction right on the exit. Down the Wellington Straight underneath the Emirates Bridge. You've got a car in front, that's Cooper Benz. It gets very nicely out the way. Turns in maybe a little bit too early for that corner on the end. Had to turn kind of out of it, otherwise he would have cut the corner. And then through the right hand onto this old front straight. Still see the grip markings there. As he goes into old turn 1, it should really be taken flat, but he's taking it easing off. He's just getting a lap in Q1, which is a sensible thing to do, because you can very easily one ride with the understeer and everything. Through Maggots and Beckett's nicely through the middle part, and on the exit you've got to get a good exit because you're on to the hangar straight. He's trying to get a little bit of slipstream from Creamy, but Creamy's trying to get out of it. So a little bit of miscommunication there, so that was weird. Flings the car in, had to ease off again a little bit, otherwise the car would have been going off onto the track, and that's another place you can very easily validate. Through the final chicane into the final corner, and it's a 25.6 for Toxic MW. So decent lap there from Toxic. As he slows down just in front of the pit straight. Fish Sticks is just about to finish in the Red Bull. Toxic CW in the Renault is actually gone 3/10 slower than his clan member. I'll say clan member. I think that's good. So CW. I'm gonna have to get a difference between the two, or is that's just gonna get confusing. Primus is invalidated on his first lap, so he won't be. He'll have to go again. Demons is just about to start a lap in the AlphaTauri. 14 viewers so far. Say hello in the chat if you're new. Welcome to RSF1 if you are new. Can I have an audio and a screen check from someone? Is everything sounding okay? Is looking okay? Is no lag or anything? That'll be good. I am by myself for the time being. I will be joined by Brutal Reapers soon. Something's come up. He will be. He's on his way back. He's been told. He's told me. RSF1 button sets 26.5. So a few in the 25s already. In the 26s, Creamy's about to finish a lap in the Red Bull. Another new driver joining the league. It's good to see these new names. It's good to see that the league is expanding. As 26.5 from Creamy. Got a lap so far. David or Face, evening, all sounds good. Thank you. That's what I want to hear. Running on the 1080p today as a little test. So hopefully things look pristine. As there's Dufferlump, our race winner last time out. Again, cut the championship gap behind Prost to 11 points. So again, he can take the lead of the championship out of today. See how he gets on. Cooper Benz in the Williams got his first podium of the league last time out in his third race. This is now his fourth race in the league. So looking good. RSF1 Eagle, another fast driver, goes second on a 25.7. A decent lap there from Eagle. As Cooper Benz, does he lift off? He doesn't. Just about keeps it on the track. It's very difficult, or very easy to understeer off there. And then Backus had to slow down a little bit on the exit, and that's going to cost him all the way down the straight. It's a purple middle sector, but I think that's just a personal best. As Old Manzi goes 5th on a 26.2, so times are close to the top. See how Cooper Benz takes the final chicane. Don't want to go over those curbs too much. Here's the last one, a big wide berth, but a 25.8 puts him right near the top of the session. He does qualify very well. Got very unlucky in France, otherwise he would have challenged the 2 Alphas in that race, if anyone remembers that. So he's settled himself into it nicely. It's right aboard of Prost. He's about to begin a lap, making sure all the drivers go past him. He's not taking any chances. So he goes to begin the lap. Oh, and Duffer Lump's retired. What's happened to Duffer? Old turn 1, he's crashed it. Oh my goodness. That is a turn up for the books. The guy that was challenging the championship leader last time out, the winner last time out, would have to... Well, if he's going to win 2 races in a row, he's going to come from 17th on the grid. That is a big surprise from Duffer, because he normally qualifies well as well. So that's going to be a big test. That's be a big test for him. See how he handles himself from the difficulties on the back of the grid. So that'll be interesting. Button comes across, gets into the 25s. So few in the 25s already. All is good at the moment. So let's carry on riding board with Prost as he negotiates his first flying lap of the session. As I said, he leads the championship on 129 points. Duffer Lump is on 118 points. They both Duffer and Prost gained a bit on the 2 chasing them, and that is Eagle and Skyline. Eagle did pick up some points, only just got it because of lack of penalties that he had compared to everyone else in front of him. But yeah, he's got to recover in this race, does Eagle. Skyline as well has had a couple of very difficult races moving forward, so he can recover his form. But yeah, Eagle on 94 points, Skyline on 92. Then you got Button on 70 points. Now he's been very, very consistent. He has scored in every round this season since the very beginning in Australia as RSF1 Button. And that has meant that he's still with another chance. He hasn't won a race, and I don't think he's got a podium either as RSF1 Button. So maybe tonight that can change. He's on 70 points. Kazi Baby's on 69. I think Kazi is an absentee tonight. Yeah, Kazi's not racing, so he will stay on 69 points. Then it's Primus Gaming on 66. And again, good run of results, couple of wins, couple of podiums, and Primus, Kazi or Button can leap themselves into the championship battle. Bit of a gap then to Fish Sticks on 49 points and Charismic on 46. Old Manzi, who had a very good result in 4th place last time out, he's on 38, same points as Dips, who I cannot see at the moment. I don't think he's racing either. Prost is invalidated on his 2nd lap, and that's going to hamper him a little bit. So he's still got plenty of time, still 7 minutes. So right on board with Charismic. Fordy and Cooper Benz is on 35 points each. Vinny is on 33. Raikkonen's on 16. And the rest are yet to score. Obviously, a few of them have only just joined. As Charismic sets a 26-1. Puts himself in 8th. And that might be safe enough for the next session. Prost is going again, and that makes sense because even on a 3rd lap on these same tyres, you would think, oh, he got a big slide though through turn 1. So he doesn't seem to be hooked up really. And he did say last week this is one of his good tracks. He does like this place, but turn 1, big slide, that's not what you want going for, so we'll keep on board with him. Constructors, meantime, in F4. Racing Point gained on Alfa Romeo. They've been very close all race, or all season, I mean. But Racing Point have got a bit of a gap on 243 points compared to Alfa Romeo's 227. Realistically, I think it's Alfa Romeo or Racing Point for the title in terms of the teams in F4, because the next closest to them is Mercedes 135, and they're not as consistently high scoring as, say, the other two teams. The Mercedes on 135, but Mercedes are in a battle because they got Williams on 133, Haas on 116, McLaren on 106. So all four of those teams looking for kind of best of the rest, if you like. Red Bull are next on 51, then Renault on 44, Ferrari on 25, and AlphaTauri on 18 rounds out the teams. Now let's see what Prost can do at the end of this lap. I haven't really seen it because I was looking at my notes. And let's see, it's a 25.9 on 3-lap-old softs. He's only 3/10 slower than Toxic MW, who's just been joined by graded Vinny on a 25.6 in the Mercedes. A good lap from Vinny to put himself second. Right, see how Marine Spider can get on. Had a difficult race last time out in Austria. Let's get in the grips with the league at the moment. See how he gets on. Middle sector, so second up. So this is a better lap at the moment. That will still put him a little bit far off. So see how he gets on in the third sector. Right on board of him. Into the chicane for last couple of corners. Of course, with Dufferlump crashing out earlier on as Marine Spider's at 28.1. Needs to find another second there. At the moment, you've got Monster Skyline, who's only just come out of the pits. Now, I did talk to Skyline before this race started. He's having some big trouble with his wheel. Keeps turning on and off suddenly. I don't know what the issue is, but yeah, he's not in the right frame of mind going into this race. So hopefully everything is all fine. He is yet to set a lap, and he's leaving it quite late, but again, he's had a horrible run of form so far. He's just been caught out in the wrong place at the wrong time, as we all have, I'm sure, from time to time. Primus Gaming seems to be on a better lap. Big slide though for old turn 1. Managed to hold it. We saw his teammate crash out in exactly the same place, so Primus nearly followed him. Onto the hanger straight though. 7/10 up though. That's a lot better. That's to put him in the 25s actually. So if he can finish off this lap, this will be very good. Turns it in nicely. I have to hold it in 5th gear. And into the chicane. You could use the curves, but the curves can throw the car if you're not too careful. Again, this last corner, which he does take it quite heavily, but it's a 25.8. That will put him safely through to Q2, I am sure. So Primus puts himself a lot more safer into the session. It is quite close towards the bottom end of this session here. But who's in trouble? You've got 40 in trouble here. Let's see how he gets on middle sector. Had to ease off a little bit at the end of the Meccas, and he is down by a couple of tenths on his time. He's going to have a bit of slipstream from the car ahead, which is charismatic. Whoever that helps him. Car doesn't want to turn in. Didn't want to turn in as much as I guess he would like. The chicane, bit of a wobble. Midway through. 26. Doesn't improve. Now's the 4th lap on his softs. Does he have enough to go again? See what Skyline could do. Sector 1, 42 seconds. So it's not going to be this lap. Maybe he still has a bit of issue. But he still has two minutes left, so yeah, he's turned DRS down, so still got plenty of time. We'll keep an eye on him. 40 still a 10th down. Creamy also in the Red Bull. Oh, Creamy's got no front wing. So Creamy will not be... Yeah, he'll be retiring in the pit, so he's under a little bit of pressure. UK Demons is also on a lap as well, so let's see if 40 can haul himself out of it. That's better. Right, see, middle sector. Looks to be slightly quicker. Yeah, it's a 10.5 up. That'll make him slightly more safer. He's kind of in a battle with Marine and Monster Skyline at the moment. Skyline's on a second lap. So Skyline's got one more opportunity to get through to the next session. Oh, and Skyline's off. Skyline's off through turn 1 and 2. He's out of spin. And things are not working out for him whatsoever. Did he get any damage? Give me an angle, please. Camera. I want to look at the front wing. No. That's better. Don't think there's damage there, but well, this lap is ruined, and he's got 50 seconds to get round again. So not good, and Marine Spiders are validated. So there is a chance for Skyline if he can get round in time. Creamy and the Red Bull has definitely finished. Who else is on laps at the moment? Primus is on run. Marine Spider will get round again. Where is Skyline? He's just going through Maggots and Beckett's at the moment. He got a runner behind him. I'm not sure whether he can make it in time. 15 seconds. Very big pressure now. So Marine Spider has made it. He's on a lap now, and Monster Skyline, I don't think he's going to make it. No, he hasn't. Only by a couple of seconds. So Skyline is out in the Williams. So Q1, 17 drivers, and we've had two pretty big shocks there. Dufferlump and Monster Skyline, two different circumstances, but both equally as surprising. I know Skyline's got issues with his wheel at the moment. And that's really unfortunate. But Dufferlump as well, crashing at the old turn 1. Everyone else is through as long as they can finish their laps and don't crash. As Marine Spider went through that. UK Demons improved. Old Manzi, 25-4. Topped the session right at the end. What a lap from Old Manzi. Brilliant stuff from Manzi there. Very good. Which side do we speak to? Let's speak to Dufferlump, I think. See if he joins us. Or joins me. See what his plan will be from 17th place on the grid. Can be done. You can get a good result from 17th by all means. Mustn't give up on the race because of that, but see if he joins us. As we've got 24 viewers watching so far, thank you very much for watching. We are just finished Q1 and we're into Q2, where the 15 remaining drivers will now see if they can get into the top 10. Good signs early on, half a second covering 10 drivers there. So all looking close, which is all good to see. So yeah, looking good. Toxic MW already looking quick. So the usual big hitters, both the Alfa Romeos and Racing Point and Primus, might have to no, Duffer, you join me. Join my party. There you go. He wanted me to join his, and there we go. There we go. If include your audio, please, Duffer. Wow, big surprise. I'm probably just as surprised as you are that I'm talking to you at this stage. This just simply old turn 1, wasn't it? I presume it got a slide and it couldn't be caught.
It went turn 1. It was, I can't remember what it's called. It's the one before Maggots and Beckett's. You know, the fast right-hander before Maggots and Beckett.
Yeah, old turn 1. Yeah.
Oh, old turn 1. Yeah. Yeah. Every single season, if it's been dry, I've crashed there in Q1 and retired.
Oof.
The only time I've ever got through to Q3 was when it was pouring with rain, and I think that was last season. But yeah, it always gets me. I don't know why. I just always lose it there.
Do you go down a gear? Do you keep it in 8th or?
No, I keep it an 8. It's fine. Mate, practice. I mean, I haven't practiced this week anyway, but even when I used to practice and I used to do TT and stuff, never used to drop it there. But every single time in Q1, I drop it. I don't know why. Maybe it's a track temperature or something. I don't know, but yeah.
To be fair, I've seen F1 drivers drop it there as well. It's a very difficult corner because and I've done it there before as well. Because once you get a slide, it's very difficult just to catch it, especially in this game now.
You always get a little bit of a slide, don't you? But if you just touch the curb a little bit too much, it was such a small tap as well. I'm surprised it took my wheel off, but we'll go with it. It's me and Monster Skyline at the back, so it could be fun.
Yeah, Monster Skyline was a bit of a surprise as well. But so, big question I have for you is, you said that at every Q1 you've gone on that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Has the races been better?
Yeah, I've never crashed out on a race. I say that now, I'll crash it now, you watch, but no, I haven't. Touch wood, I've finished every race. It's just Q1 doesn't like me.
Well, I said when just after you crashed, I said obviously you won last time out in Austria, and I said if you wanted to go for 2 in a row, you've got to do it from the back, which is not impossible. It's been done before. It's been done from further back before as well. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a test now because you're not normally qualifying this further back, and you've got not necessarily the mess, but the confusion, I guess, of this further back on the grid. You got to keep your wits about you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to I'll probably take it easy first lap or two. Just to try not get damaged. I hope there's a safety car. Try not get damaged, and then I'll just start making moves if I can. I'll be happy with points now, to be honest. Anything like 8 for above, I'll be happy. But just hopefully Patronus doesn't get the win, and I'm right back here. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's all right. Damage limitation, it could be.
Yeah.
It's one of those races that 4 points you could win the championship by 4 points, and those 4 points you got here could mean the difference. So
exactly.
Weather for the race?
Dry. I wanted wet. I really wanted wet.
I wanted wet.
I want a wet race. We haven't had one. We've had like trickles. Well, since I've been in F4 anyway, we've had like little trickly bits, but it never started a wet race. Never had a wet quali. Did we have a wet quali? Maybe for like the end of Q2. Yeah, but no, I like the wet, especially around here. I really want a wet around here, but yeah, it's not to be. But fingers crossed it'll be alright.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the rest of qualifying. Hopefully your teammate Primus can qualify well and hamper the Alfa Romeos, because obviously after Austria you got a gap on the Alphas. So hopefully he can continue that, and hopefully he does qualify well.
Yeah, I'll be. Hopefully we'll have 2 engineers soon as well. So we'll do our best.
Anyway, good luck for the race. Speak to you later, maybe.
Yeah, I doubt it, but we'll hope so.
Come on, you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Alright, cheers.
Alright, good luck anyway.
Bye-bye.
There is Duffer, starting from 17th place on the grid, as Cooper Benz. We're now into Q2, and this is where strategy will come into play. And we've had a few differences this week. Although the killer strategy for me, and I still think is the way to go, mediums to softs, because softs at the end of the race it's almost impossible to defend. You can't defend against them. Cooper Benz in the Williams sets 25.4, which is near the top end of what Q1 was, so he is definitely trying to stick with the soft tyres. Means obviously at the beginning of the race, I presume he will stick on them. I don't think he can get a mediums 25-4. So he wants to go aggressive. So that's Cooper Benson. Anybody else following him? Creamy and the Red Bull is. We've got Prost in the Alfa Romeo, currently fastest of those on the medium tyres, 26.2. Good lap from him. So he's gathering himself up from a slightly difficult Q1. Fish Stick's right behind him. Eagle as well. Toxic and a 26.5 as Creamy, or a bit of a banker lap I think, on a 26.8 on the softs. They can go quicker than that. Button's doing a second lap on the mediums. Must have invalidated the first one. He goes through Maggers and Beckett's section. Need to get the exit perfectly right because you've got the straight all the way along here. Primus is on a third lap on the medium tyres. He's currently 7th. Marine Spider's also set a lap. The rest have not. Who's going to be into this top 10? There's a Button. Clips the curb on the inside a little bit. First part of the chicane. Going to be in the 26s though. 26.2 beats Prost by 100th of a second. A nice lap there from Button in the McLaren there. So very close for those on the medium tyres. That bodes well for the race. Let's see, Charismatic, Purple Sector 1. Interestingly. Yeah, mids. I presume that's mid-Z. CP mids in the chat there. I presume that's mid-Z. Saying very nice lap. But oh, Charismatic. Oh no, he's lost it. No, the wall. Oh, he's alright. I say he's alright. Oh, I was tensing up because I thought there's going to be a retirement from Charismatic. Oh, he's a lucky boy. Big slide, and I presume that's what Duffer did. Only Duffer retired on the spot, so Charismatic, he can't turn, so he's done a bit of lawnmowing. Oh, bring it back to the pits, mate. Still got time. Still got 7 minutes. Right, old Manzi in the Renault. Topped Q1. And 25.4, I think it was. Q1. So let's hope he can get himself safely through to Q3. I don't think old Manzi's got into Q3 that often this season. Normally around about just outside the top 10. Let's see how he gets on. Hello to C Watt in the chat. Good evening to you. Let's see, end of the hangar straight. Again, I'm not very good with corner names. Primus has stayed on his medium tyres. That's strategy. Because he got plenty of time to go on the softs. He obviously does not want to touch the softs. 26.1 from Toxic MW in the Ferrari goes quickest of those mediums. Old Manzi goes to 6th on a 26.3 in a very, very tight up front end as well as in front of him. 2 cars going way off on the track there. I think that was UK Demons. No, it's Marine Spider. Who I think he was trying to get out of the way of someone else. I think there was a Ferrari there as well. Who else is... who's about to finish a lap? Graded Vinny. Vinny also looked quick in Mercedes. As he goes flying through. Maggers and Beckett's. Ooh, just about kept it within track limits in the middle part. But get a very nice exit. So let's see. He's probably going to have to go low 26, I would have thought. Anything lower than a 26.3 will probably be safe. He heads into the chicane. This is the apex. Doesn't hit the curbs like what Button did. Final corner. 25.9! Well done, Vinny. Great lap there from Vinny. Vinny has shown the pace from time to time. Let's have a look at his results recently. Because he got a 2nd place in his 3rd race in the lead, but he was late to join. I think he had a... because he has shown the pace, especially in qualifying. But lately has not worked out for him. In fact, his last podium... have a look at it. Vinny, where are you? Last podium was 5 races ago. He got a 6th place last time out, and that ended a streak of no points. So Vinny, back on it tonight. 40 his teammate, 26-4. It's very close in this top 10. Very, very close. I wonder if any are going to have to fit onto the soft tyres. Toxic CW realizing he's not done enough. He's going out on the softs. Grismix made it back, and he's going out on soft tyres. He wants to get through to the top 10. Let's see how UK Demons gets on. Old turn 1. Oh, I had to ease off a lot, otherwise that would have thrown him onto the curb. It's all about where you turn in for that corner. You got to get the turn in just right. Let's see. 103.1. Doesn't have much ERS left. He's only done a few laps maybe, or maybe didn't turn it down on his out lap. Because he's still got to do that on this game. You've still got to save ERS so you're ready for your qualifying lap. There's a Renault off. Just past Ultima, but I think it's getting out of the way. Demons goes to 12th on a 26.8, not enough. 3/10 shy. See how Chrismic gets on. Had a spin earlier on. It's got to recuperate. Got to recover from that. It's got to put it to one side. Now I wonder if anybody is going to put strategy to one side and put on the softs. I mean, softs are not that... They're not that bad strategy. It's just the ideal one is the medium to soft. So that's why so many people are trying to get through on the medium tyres. But you don't want to be starting outside the top 10. That's very much adamant. Obviously, these guys are relatively clean most of the time, but it's turn 1, lap 1. First few corners around this track, actually. On the first lap, you don't want to be in that bottleneck. You don't want to be halfway through. As a Marine Spider has had an off on the end of Meckers and Beckers. He's there he is. See on board of Chrismic, there he is. That's a shame for Marine Spider. He'll be starting 14th. But we'll keep on board of Chrismic, surely on the soft tyres. He's got to get low 26 into the 25s. Still got Cooper bends. Very much safe. Top of the session so far on a 25.4. Can Chrismic get anywhere near it? 26.0, but it puts himself safe on the soft tyres. Creamy's out. He's back in the pits in 12th. So it's down to... Who's just gone up? I think that was that 40? It was! 40! Both Mercedes looking quick. 26.2 from 40. Gets himself through. Toxic goes to a 25.4. That knocks out Eagle. Eagle is out. Eagle in the Alfa Romeo is out of Q2. Wow. Another surprise. Well, Prost is must be absolutely loving this. Because both his championship rivals are out. Duffer starting 17th and Eagle starting 11th. Well, 11th is not too bad. But again, it's... Don't want to be in that area of things there, but let's see who, and he's only just missed out. That's 4 thousandths of a second behind Old Manzi, who made it through. So to be fair to Eagle, that is not... Wow, that is very, very close. 2 tenths from Toxic MW, who's in 5th, it's obviously safely through, to Eagle in 11th, who is out. Very, very close qualifying. It's just what you love to see. But, and quite a lot on the medium tyres. Only Charismic, Cooper Benz, and Toxic CW went through on the soft tyres. And of course, they'll be starting on the soft tyres. Still have a few on laps, but they'll be going back into the pits shortly. They don't need to do anything else. Yeah, created Vinny, the best of those on the medium tyres by 2 tenths over Toxic MW, who is looking very good in that Ferrari, has to be said. He's not like Leon, not another Leon scenario. He's not too far ahead, but he's in the front pack in qualifying at least. So that looking good for the Maranello team. Yeah, very, very interesting. Let's see whether Eagle can speak to us. Let's see if he speaks to us. Hello, Eagle. Well, what can I say? Missed out on Q3 by 0.004 of a second in the end.
Yeah.
But by the looks of it, obviously you didn't, because I think you had enough time to go onto the softs.
Yeah, I had plenty of time. I was debating whether to go out, but it's my own fault. I messed up my run on the mediums. It is what it is.
Yeah, so obviously you're thinking strategy, because 11th is not too bad, it's just how close that was at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. I get to start on new tyres, so hopefully avoid chaos into turn 1, which no doubt there will be.
Yeah, I mean, you're only less than a 10th actually behind Prost, your teammate, who was in 8th, so that shows how close it is. It was very insane.
Yeah, I just did a poor lap. I've been averaging anywhere between 25.7 and a 26.12 in practice, but I messed it up on that one, so it's my own fault.
Yeah, I've done it many times before, so I know the feeling. Yeah, what are your thoughts for the race? Obviously, you've got to keep an eye on Prost. Obviously, extended the gap from himself to you last time out, so you don't want him to do it again, ideally.
Well, ideally no, but I'll just take it cautious into the first corner, see what happens. See if I can make up a few places on the first few laps, and then just take it from there, really.
Yeah, cool. Who's your prediction for pole? There's quite a few names up here as well, isn't there?
Yeah. The new guy, Toxic, he looks pretty decent. Old Manzi looks pretty fast tonight as well. He did in Q1.
I was going to say which Toxic, because there's 2 of them.
I think it's MW.
Yeah.
In the Ferrari.
I'm trying to think of a name myself as to try and differentiate between the two, because they're going to get confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was one in the Ferrari.
Yeah. Anyway, best of luck in the race, and maybe I'll speak to you at the end.
Right, yeah, hopefully. Catch you later.
Cool. Good luck.
Ta-ra.
Alright, so there is RSF1 Eagle, starting from 11th place on the grid. Still can do a lot from there. Still podium or even a win is possible, you never know, especially safety car jumping in. Who's going to be the first on a lap in? It's going to be Charismic into Q3. Good evening in the chat. Hi to Sync Veloce. Had your debut last night. Had a respectable race, I've got to be said. And see what class lap from me. Don't know who see what is. I presume obviously you're driving the race, but obviously different name to the chat here. Oh, Toxic CW. There you go. Well, you're through into the top 10, so there you go. So, Charismic will be the first driver to set a lap. 23 viewers so far. Who is your prediction for pole? Who are you cheering on in this session? Who is going to get pole position? It's going to be a new name for the first time in a couple of weeks, because Duffer took the pole position in the last couple of weeks. As Charismic, and a bit of a slide through turn 1. Manages to hold it into turn 3. Got to aim for the curb on turn 3, and again through turn 4, but don't kind of hit it. That will sort of hamper your run down to Wellington Straight. first time, and might see a few overtakes on the first lap. Cooper Benz or Button says, again, I presume Mitzi in the chat. Yeah, wait for a good shout. I think it's anyone's really. I mean, you got both Mercedes up here. You got both Toxics. You got Old Manzi who top Q1. And I think it's going to be a low 25 for pole. That's lovely from Chris Smith through old turn 1. How's he going to go through arguably the best part of the track, the Magnussen Beckett section? When you hook it up, it feels absolutely beautiful. Down the hanger straight towards the end of the corner. Break the car turn in. Is the car going to hold in 6th gear? It does. And then into the chicane. And got to get your braking just right. Feather the throttle. Into the last corner. It's going to be a 25.4. That is one of the quickest, I think, of the session. The 6 is invalidated. Here comes the Ferrari of Toxic. MW 25.2. That is the quickest tonight so far. As the Alfa Romeo Prost goes through on a 25.6. There's a Mercedes next of Vinny, who's invalidated. We got 40 ahead, who is going to set a 26.1, so that's a bit of a banker lap from 40. Renault of Old Manzi is going again. Oh no, that was Toxic CW just gone through. Old Manzi goes to 4th on a 25.7. And you got Button, who's invalidated as well. So he'll be... No, he's ducking into the pit. So, that's round 1. Only 5 times on the board, which shows track limits are a thing, as Fishchicks just does the same thing on, I think, a 2nd lap. Yep. Let's see what Toxic CW is getting on. The experience, I think. You're getting there, Demons. You're getting there. It's, I believe it's your first race, so you can only get better from there. As Toxic CW. Yeah, Demons. Oh, Toxic. Wow. Straight over the curb. That's going to be in another validation. See how Vinny's getting on. What a 1.8. That looks a pretty decent middle sector. Yeah, Demons, just keep your head down and should be alright. Right, Creamy's left the session, so I'm going to have to... We'll keep on board with Vinny for now, see what his lap is, and I have to invite Creamy back. It's going to be... Oh, it's a pretty good time, actually. It does! Beats Toxic MW by 5 thousandths of a second. Vinny takes pole. Well, provisional pole. Yeah, provisional pole. Great lap there from Vinny. Right, let's see where Creamy was. There we go, he's back in. I've invited him anyway, so hopefully Creamy joins back. Cooper Benz normally qualifies near the front. Pretty good qualified first few races of his RSF1 career. They're looking quite good already. Who else is on the lap? We've got an Alfa Romeo of... Well, the only Alfa Romeo in the Q3 session is Prost, who is... he's coming back into the pits, so... And you've got both Mercedes, I think, on in laps. You've got Button on an out lap as well. So we'll keep on board with Cooper Benz. How does he take old turn 1? Completely flat? Yeah, completely flat. Yeah, 5 thousandths of a second. Very close, Toxic. MW. Cooper Benz. Too flat. That's a couple of tenths down on Vinny's middle sector, I think, because that was a minute 1.8. Eek. Missed the apex a little bit there, but that's fine. Once you hold the speed through. Rumbled under the curbs a little bit into the chicane. That's not ideal. Is that going to cost him? 25.4 goes 4th for now. And he's got time to, he's got enough time to get round and go again. Button, I think, invalidated again. I think so. But he's starting another lap. He's got a couple of guys coming out the pits, which should stay out the way. Yeah, Red Bull of Fish Sticks is Button caught the curb a little bit, and Fish Sticks is on the curb. Oh, that put Button off. I don't think Fish Sticks meant that. I know he didn't mean that, but that was just wrong timing there from Button. So Button has a choice now. He's just saving the RS, saving a lot of fuel to the RS, so he can go again. Fordy stuck him back in the pit, so two drivers on an outlap as well, both Renaults. Prost is out again. 3.5 minutes to go. Can anybody topple? Anybody topple Graded Vinny or Toxic? Get onto the front row. See how Toxic CW gets in. Takes a wide approach into turn 3. Opens up the corners pretty good. Rumbles over the curbs a little bit, but doesn't seem to hamper him. Made his commentating debut last time out for the F1 division yesterday. Did Toxic CW again. It's going to get confusing with Toxic MW and CW. Might just call them MW and CW for short. There's the difference. Someone else has jumped up. No, Button's gone to 8th. He's now set a lap. He's off, going off again. Right, let's see how this Renault takes Max and Beckett's section. Maybe no, he turned in too early in the last part. First couple of parts were good, but not for them. Fish Sticks is another guy who's not set a lap in time. Toxic CW's got enough time. Well, there's still 2 minutes to go. Still alright. Purple Sector 1 from Fish Sticks. And Fish Sticks, the early part of the season, like Bahrain, China, looked like a real front runner, but as the season's gone on, he's just again not hooked up in the races. He caught up in a few things. Just happens, and it's just one race comes on top of another. So hopefully it can change. In a practice session I did earlier with Fish Sticks, he looked pretty good. So end of the hanger straight, car turns in very nicely. Let's see what Fish Sticks can do. Into the chicane for the final time. Second part, little runs in a little deep. Might not have cost him as much. 25.4 goes to 3rd. There we go. So not trouble in the front 2, but 3rd is alright. For now, just ahead of Charismatic and Cooper Benz. So who's next? Prost, but he's a few tenths down. He's got enough time to go again. Currently 6th at the moment, Prost. Let's see who is next. Got the Mercedes of... Well, Vinny's invalidated his next run. It won't be him next. They've got a Ferrari of MW who's about to begin the lap. Renault of CW finishes the lap and goes 6th on the 25.5. Only a few tenths off his clan member. But 6th for the moment, demotes Prost to 7th. Prost is currently in between both Renaults, but Old Manzy's on the lap at the moment. Old Manzy is a minute 1.8 middle sector. This looks a pretty good lap. Mercedes of 40 sets to 26.1. And Button's going to be next, and the checkered flag is waved. So this is the last time. Where can Button go? It's going to be a 25, 25.4. Goes to 6th. Old Manzy goes to 3rd. A 25.3. And not that far behind. Fish Sticks. 25.206. Takes pole away from Graded Vinny. And Vinny's invalidated on his lap. What can MW do? MW's through the Magnussen-Beckett section. And he's only just a little bit up. So it's going to be down to the final sector for him. Alfa Romeo of Prost is left. And he goes only 8th. But he's only 3/10 off pole. That's how close it is. But 8th for Prost. Chris Mick retires. Mercedes of Fordy. 25.5 as well, but goes 9th. Ferrari spun. Toxic has spun on the just before the last corner, so he's not going to be toppling it. Cooper Benz is the last driver to complete a lap, I think. And it's going to be pole. 24.8. Where's that come from? Cooper Benz with an absolutely brilliant lap. Right at the death of the session. Just like last night, I think, what was it? Corey Marshall did that in F1 last night with the last lap of the session. And Cooper Benz with a 24.8 takes pole position off of Fishtich. You've got to feel sorry for him because that's Fishtich's best qualifying in a long time, I think. And he's got it on the front row, though. Take nothing away from Fishtich. Front row for Fishtich. Vinny 3rd. Toxic MW 4th place. He's spinning that last corner. And it looked a good lap, so he'll be a little bit frustrated with that, I think. Old Manzi 5th. A good result for him. Chris Mick in 6th. Button 7th. Prost in 8th place. So, after all that, with Eagle in 11th, Prost hasn't really capitalised on his teammates' demise. And will start 8th. 49th. Toxic CW in 10th place. And that is your top 10. But what a lap for Cooper Benz. Damn. Right, let's see. Cooper Benz can have a quick word. Whew. Now, we don't need to do the diff free pace thing. We're not starting that. But, very good lap nonetheless. He's in the best position for the race. Could be good. And we got a very, very cloudy start to the race. Oh, blimey. Also, 1, 2, 3... Oh, no, not again. We're not doing this again, are we? Ah, God damn it. Right. See if I can get... Who's readied up as well? Guys, honestly, I was trying to get everyone back in. Good. Right, we're underway. Full formation lap. Someone readied up, and I did not see who that was, so I apologise. I was just trying to get everyone back into the lobby because we've got quite a few that aren't here. Right, I'm going to have to get rid of the formation laps. So you've got Vinny and Fish Sticks, Button, Creamy, and that's it. Right, so let me just get everybody in because that's my priority at the moment. Right, where is Fish Sticks? Hope everyone's going to get back in time. Right, so... Yeah, so about the formation lap, guys, because we always do that. I'm trying to get everyone in, make sure they're all in. Button is another one. Where's Button? Now, they will be able to take control of their cars, but they have to take it without causing too much trouble. Hopefully they do come back in. So that's Button, Toxic's in, Marine Spider's in. Need to get Creamy back in. I'm good, Easton. Thank you for the offer. I'll be alright. Thanks for the offer though. Just trying to get everyone back in is my problem. There's Creamy Demons, Primus is in, Marine Spider is in, Monster Skyline is in, think Duffer is in as well. Hopefully they will take the cars. Take control of their cars there. But here we go, an overcast session. Sorry again for lack of formation lap. But obviously I wanted to get everyone in as possible. Hopefully things will be alright. But Cooper Benz has got to get a good start from the front of the grid. Hopefully Fishsticks and Vinny can take control of their cars. And they can't do so until the first corner goes by. So 17 drivers for 26 laps of the British Grand Prix is going to be underway very shortly. Get myself a good camera angle. Here we go. For 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And lights out and away they go. Cooper Benz needs to have a good start. He's got a very slow start. Oh, Vinny is going to try to go around the outside through turn 1. Doesn't make it. Slows down, all bottlenecking up behind. But Cooper Benz keeps the lead ahead of Vinny. There's contact, there's carbon fibre. There's a lot of carbon fibre in the midfield. And we'll see if it takes the... I don't think Vinny's back in his car yet. It's causing trouble. But now he is. There's a lot of carbon fibres gone across the track. There's a lot of broken front wings. Old Mandy, I'm afraid, is one of them. Charismic's up 3 places on the soft tyres, so very good start from him. But Cooper Benz is absolutely gone. He's nearly 2 seconds up the road ahead of Fishsticks. Marine Spider's up 10 places. How on earth has he done that? He's up to 5th. What a start for the AlphaTauri driver. He's got a bit of damage. There's still a few cars are trying to get themselves through. Primus is back there in 17th as well. I think he's got caught up in something. We'll see who pits, but I think it'll be quite a bit. Not the best of starts. And that's a shame to see as Audi is going to fly past Old Mandy. And that's such a shame for Old Mandy. He's qualified really well. And he's ducking into the pits. Who is going to duck in the pits to join him? Marine Spider as well. Oh, Marine Spider had such a good start. Blimey. And only Button in the pits as well. So three drivers in the pits. The timing pages have gone all over the place. But it is still Cooper Benz that leads this British Grand Prix at the moment. Allow the timings to kind of get back once again. Fishsticks is in 2nd. He's got Charismic all over the back of him. Charismic on the soft tyres, remember, because they're going to have to start making his way. Primus is on the intermediates. Okay. It's not raining, I don't think. That's definitely not. I had to pause and unpause just to double check. I think that's a genuine mistake from Primus, and that is real shame for Primus. He's been caught up in something at the back, and he's on the intermediate tyres, and it's clearly it's not. What a shame. Cooper Ben's 3 seconds up the road. One of these guys is going to have to get through because Fishsticks. Fishsticks is holding up a big train here. Well, not a big train. He's got Charismic and Toxic right behind. Toxic's also a medium tyre trying to get by. So see, both the Alfa Romeos are swapped in all that confusion. Eagle's up to 6th. Demon's up to 5th. Prost has dropped down to 9th. So Skyline's had a good start. Duffer's had a good start as well. They're going side by side actually. Oh no, Skyline's off. Skyline's off through turn 1. And Skyline's having a big issue. Something is clearly not right. He's back on. Remy hasn't taken his car yet, which is a shame. So who's pitted? We've got Marine, Old Man Z, Button, and Primus that have all pitted. And Cooper Benz in the moment has done exactly what he needs to do, as Fishstick's got a more mighty slide out of old turn 1 there. Really struggling to keep up with the pace. There's Eagle. It says, whoa! What's happening with Eagle and 40? I think Eagle went to have a lunge on 40. Is now battling with Toxic CW. Demons is in there as well. Demons has got a run on Eagle. This battle's all over the shot because Charismic is all over the back on Fishstick. So I've got to go to him. There's contact. A bit of jumpy cars here and there. But the thing is, Charismic and Toxic MW cannot chase after Cooper Benz. Cooper Benz is absolutely flying. Yeah, I think that's just a game thing for Primus because he is on the hard tyres. Skyline's pitted as well. What a shame for them too. It has gapped up in all that confusion, and that's probably not helped by the cars not being controlled, as Toxic, MW and the Ferrari trying to have a look at Charisma but can't find a way through. It's already on lap 4 in this race. As Demons, contact. Contact between Demons and Toxic CW. More damage for Demons. But not having a good race as it stands. Demons is now going to drop back. He's got Prost all over the back, and Prost has had a rough race. There's Duffer. So Duffer lump from the back of the grid is now right behind Prost. Maybe he wanted to minimise the gap, but Prost has been hampered by something. And up at the inside, has Prost got damage? He does, yeah, so Prost has been clipped by someone. As both CW and Demons go into the pits. And Prost is in the pits as well, so Prost, well, the only thing Prost can do from there is the hard tyres, I think. So not a good race for the championship leader. He won't be happy with that at all. Duffer's definitely turned his qualifying around, up to 7th place on the soft tyres. Very aggressive. Very aggressive strategy on the softs. He wanted to make some inroad as Toxic MW go for a lunge on the inside of Fishsticks, takes 3rd place. A very nice clean move from MW there. Now the highest of those on the medium tyres. So Toxic, CW, Demons and Prost all onto the hard tyres, trying to get to the end of the race. That's the only thing they can do. The damage they had. It's been a rough race already. Not great to see. So both Alpha Tauris now battling at the back. I'll keep an eye on this. So Charismic now running in 2nd on the softs. Cooper Benz though, 5 seconds up on the lead. Very rough start from F4 in this race, but seems to be calming down a little bit. It's just a time penalty. There's going to be a few time penalties in this, I think. What are the 2 Alpha Tauris doing? Demons again being clipped, I think. Oh, and Monster Skyline's out. Skyline is out. Virtual safety car. And, well, it's not been a good race at all for Monster Skyline. He has had some issues with his racing wheel. I don't think they've cleared up. And that is such a shame. The run of form, not ideal, continues. And what is going on here? Really do not know what's going on. Marine Spider's very slowly on the pit entrance. Virtual safety car. No one taking advantage of the virtual safety car. I think it was kind of called at the wrong time for these guys at the front. Got a gearbox glitch on Fishstick's car. As we're back underway, VSC has been called back in. Superman still with a 5-second lead, nearly at the top. And these soft tyres are only going to be a couple more laps before the softs will be out of their window. These guys will have to pit. Again, very overcast up in the sky. There wasn't any chance of rain. According to Duffer, there wasn't. You can see position changes right now. Chrismick got 4, so he's had a good start on the softs. He's under pressure from the Ferrari as Ferrari gets a big slide out of turn 3. Sticks is still there. 40 is still up there as well. He's gone up 4 places. Eagle up 5. Duffer up 10. And Creamy up 3 places as well. But you can see all those that have had a rough start to this race. Still only on lap 7 though. It was upside down. Apparently Skyline was upside down. I didn't see that. Why me? Definitely not the way he wanted to end this race. As his yellow flag. Oh, there's that the Williams! The Williams is off! Cooper Benz! He's off from Angus and Beckett's. I don't know what happened there. But he's been clipped. He's got 40 right behind. And 40's going to capitalise trying to get past Cooper Benz, but he's lost the lead and the advantage that he had. I don't know what happened there. There was an AlphaTauri close. I hope he didn't have a collision with the AlphaTauri of Marine Spider there, because that would not be good at all. But Charismic now leads the race. What an unfortunate circumstance that is. And Charismic, as you can see, running very wide through turn 2. They are closing up on the AlphaTauri, and this now changes the complexity of the race. Jake, spinning is the new form of sandbagging. I didn't know that, Jake. Actually, might try that sometime. Unless I've been sandbagging all along. So Cooper Benz, another situation. I don't think he had a collision with the. I hope he didn't with the AlphaTauri, but I mean they were close. I'm just assuming. But Charismic still leads, and they'll be pitting soon, as will Cooper Benz, and that will leave Toxic MW in the lead, ahead of Fishsticks, who has gapped 40 because 40 is now stuck behind Cooper Benz. They are coming up behind the AlphaTauri now, and Charismic's got a little bit. Actually, yeah, I was going to say. Ghosting is on. I think ghosting should be on. I wasn't sure. So maybe, yeah, he did spin by himself, Cooper Benz. So there goes my other theory. Of that. So Toxic's still putting Charismic under pressure. You can see the AlphaTauri there with a little bit of pressure. Ghosting and Charismic defending heavily on the inside. He's allowed to do that, move left and move right. Well, it's just not multiple times, but that's okay. And Toxic's got to be careful because he's got the Red Bull of Fishsticks lurking behind. Silverstone a street track. Why? You know that's not the case, Jake Moore. It's not a street track, clearly. Why say? I don't know why he's saying that. Fair enough. Frost just got by Creamy for 11th. Behind Toxic. Both of them are just on the I don't know why ghosting is odd. I'm in some ways I'm glad it is, because the AlphaTauri is a lap down and it doesn't impede, but Cooper Benz is in the pits though. So what will Cooper Benz go on to? Medium, I guess, but it's a bit early for me. Never mind. Pit strategy comes up. Medium tyres it will be. But where's this going to drop him? There's a big gap. A very big gap, actually, from 9th downwards. Or from 8th to 9th. There's a Toxic CW just gone by Old Mandy. Old Mandy was on the soft tyres. Yeah, you can see the gap. Toxic CW is about half a minute behind Cooper Benz, who just pitted. So it's kind of an A race and a B race at the moment, unless we have a safety car. Which would, of course, close it back up again. Let's see what's going on. So you now got Chrismick and Duff on the soft tyre. Duff has clawed himself back into potential podium here. It'd be amazing on the back of the grid. There's MW's got a big run on Chrismick. Chrismick got it. Magnus and Becker's all run. Here comes MW. Round the outside. The end of the hanger straight. Can't get it done. I think Chrismick would want to be going into the pits, but MW blocked him if he was anyway. He seems to be really struggling on these softs. Duffer is in. Remember, Duffer starting on fresh softs. So Chrismick, whether he wanted to pit at that point, and look at the Red Bull. Red Bull is catching MW as he can't find a way through. Chrismick's making that Haas very wide. You see MW maybe getting a little bit frustrated behind this Haas at the moment. Surely this could be it now. He's got not much ERS left. Big defense from Chrismick. Here comes CW up at the inside. And I think he's going to get it done. Chrismick trying to hold with him. MW now takes overall lead of the race. Big twitch, and Chrismick's not giving up. Trying to go around the outside through the old front straight. Chrismick using, I think, a lot of ERS, and he does. He blasts right back past her. He's really frustrating this Ferrari. And you can see Fishsticks is just watching and waiting with this. And MW, I hope he keeps his frustrations in check, because it's really hampering him his race. And he's got to find a way by now. They're going to go side by side down the hanger straight. Haas versus Ferrari. MW swoops around the outside. Surely Chrismick could be in. Yes, he is in. As Eagle, I think, has just got by 40. As 40's in, actually. 40 in. That's an early stop on the medium tyres. I wonder what 40's gone on to. Chrismick has to go on medium, surely. He will come out ahead of Cooper Benz, I'd think. Yeah, medium tyres for Chrismick. And out he goes. 40 on the hard tyres. So different bit of strategy for 40. Bit in early. Mediums obviously didn't like them, so going on to the hard tyres. Definitely fine. And there's Cooper Benz. He is going to come out only just behind Chrismick in the end. So Chrismick now, the first of those that stopped. At least the front four still there. And there you can see the pink racing point of Duffer Lump. So Duffer's podium will be on the cards, you know. And thankfully the gap has closed up, so we don't really have like an A race and a B race at the moment. So we've got 40 Toxic, Prost, UK Demons on the hards trying to get to the end, and you've got those on mediums around them. And this is closest battle on track. You do have Fishsticks and Toxic MW close. Oh, you can see the dirty air on board Cooper Benz. Cooper Benz, again, it's got to be very frustrated with that spin. It's got to recover. Look at the speed he's got on Chrismick. That's without ERS. And you had a lot of VRS there to attack, but decided not to. As he starts to hamper the Haas driver. Fish Sticks is getting quite close behind the Ferrari of MW. Maybe battling, trying to get past Charismic has a little bit worn the Ferrari's tyres up ahead. It's this battle and the battle which Cooper Benz is on. It's the closest battle at the moment. Now these guys obviously will go onto the soft tyres in a few laps time. As Cooper Benz has ducked up to the inside of Charismic and has taken that 5th place away from Charismic. So Cooper Benz is recovering nicely. As Fish Sticks gets closer and closer to the back of the Ferrari. Even them pitting. And then you've got Eagle in 3rd at the moment. So Eagle's recovered reasonably from where he qualified. He's ahead of his teammate. That's the thing. Obviously Prost got caught up in something, and there's a few things I think the stewarding team will need to have a look at. And Fish Sticks is really pressurizing this Ferrari now. Is he going to have a run? He might do. He will do. He's in DRS. Trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari. Swoops around the outside. Yes! Good move from Fish Sticks. Takes the lead of the race. Away from Toxic MW. And MW's not going to be taking that down lightly. Fish Sticks is having one of his best races in certainly a long time. Have a look at Fish Sticks' form actually. 0 points last time out and 2 points the race before that, and then he had 3 races of no points at all. And Fish Sticks had a win in Bahrain, and that's his last time on the podium. Can that change now? And he's definitely doing the right thing to try and change that, but he's going into the pits now, as is Toxic MW. Slow it down for the pit lane. Eagle in as well. And these guys, they're going to drop behind Cooper Benz and Charismic, I think. But they'll be on softs. And they'll be absolutely flying towards the end. We've already seen this week how quick the soft tyres are. They're going to stay the same. Eagle right behind. And there is Cooper Benz. And in fact, we'll see what the gap is, if there is a gap. Because no, there's not a great gap at all. The two are just coming out the pits now, and there is Fish Sticks, and MW's come up behind Charismic. So Fish Sticks got a gap of Charismic in front, but this is Fish Sticks' race to lose. I think this is all going to be down to how Cooper Benz can defend these two guys on the soft tyres who've got tons of ERS as well. But let's see. All down to Fish Sticks now. He's got to pass Cooper Benz and get a gap. Vinny is now the only one yet to stop. He currently leads the race. So behind these guys, you've got Toxic in 5th, Duffalum in 6th for the mediums. Then you've got Eagle, who will be looking to try and get ahead of Duffalum. You got 40, Toxic, and Prost still on the hard tyres. Prost has managed to get himself into 10th place. So he's trying to recover something, and you can see Toxic MW got a much better run on Charismic. And remember, these two, they battled early. You've also got Fish Sticks ahead, going for the inside on Cooper Benz. Oh, that was close. This was even closer. MW gets past Charismic. Outside and then the hanger straight. He is very, very keen to not let Fish Sticks go. As whoa! Charismic flipped the curb on the last corner. And nearly there. Here comes Fish Sticks. He's going to go for a lunge on Cooper Benz. No, thinks better of it, but now he knows that Ferrari is right behind. Right on board, Cooper Benz looking back. Surely this is the chance of Fish Sticks to go for the move. And he is down the Wellington Straight using DRS. Simply done on there. Now he's got to get the gap ahead of the Ferrari, his closest rival in this race. The Toxic NW be looking to get past Cooper Benz as quickly as possible. Charismic still lurking in the background in Haas. Duffalump is 2 seconds off this battle. And all Cooper Benz can do really is try and keep within the DRS. And oh no, Fish is with a slide. And NW's going to go by. Fish Sticks is off and it's a big spin. A very big spin through Magnus and Beckett's. Oh, what a shame. No damage. He's come out 7th. Toxic MW has meantime got into the net lead of the race because Vinny is going to pit now. Fish Sticks, no. He's still in the points, but oh, that might have ruined his podium chances. What a shame for Fish Sticks. Vinny pits. That puts Duffalump into 4th place. What a race from Duffer. What a race from Eagle. It just shows how this championship is changing race by race. Because Prost is down in 10th at the moment and his championship rivals are up there. Yellow flag through sector 1. 40's off. 40's off in the off through turn 2. Is that going to be a virtual? Or full safety car? No, I think it's just coming back on. So 40 drops out the points. Demons and Vinny. Oh, it's another spin. Get the tyres back in. Oh, both Mercedes. Vinny has got wing damage as well. So both Mercedes in trouble. What a ton of events for them. A roller coaster of an evening because they had such a good qualifying. And now Vinny's got damage and 40's out the points. We'll go back to the front. This is an incredible race so far. Good stuff from F4. As we have Toxic MW in the lead. Cooper Benz still pressuring. So despite those soft tyres, Cooper Benz is keeping up with Toxic MW. And Toxic's just got to use those soft tyres. He's got to pull away. Well, he's tried to. Cooper Benz is latched on the back of him. And then you've got Charismic and Duffer. And Eagle there. Eagle on softs. Fish Sticks is still there. And then he got a gap back to Toxic CW in the Renault. Yeah, Mids in the chat agreeing with me. If long as Cooper Benz can keep within the DRS, you come back at him at the end of the last couple of laps because the softs have only got 5 more laps, 5-6 more laps in them before they start deteriorating. They've got to go another 8 laps from here. As long as Coops can stay in there. And the skies are still very cloudy. I'll tell you what. We're going. Obviously, we always have drive of the day at the end on the Twitter page, but one of the options, I would assume that he is an option, and that is Duffalump. Commentator's curse as well, though. Still 8 laps to go, but he's in that 4th place. He has a chance of a podium from starting in 17th place on the grid, right at the back of the grid. Great race so far, regardless of what happens. And he is within a second of Charismic, and he can see the 2 ahead of him. It's one of those what could have been, possibly from Duffalump. I can imagine if he'd started this race at the front. Sky's getting darker and darker. No chance of rain. Charismic with a time penalty. I believe he's got a fair few. We'll do it quickly in the next lap, I think. We'll do a penalty check. Charismic's name has definitely popped up at least twice, I think. Duffalump has got DRS. Eagle's within a second behind him as well. Eagle is very slowly catching up on these. Both Duffalump and Eagle have got to be thinking Prost is down in 8th at the moment. You've got to capitalise on it. As it currently stands, Duffalump will not take the championship lead away from Prost because Prost is currently scoring 4 points. Hanging on to those 4 points. He's got Demons and 40 behind, but Duffalump is in his own battle to try and get third away from Chrismick. Chrismick had a horrible run at the end of the Magnussen Beckett, so Duffalump using the overtake and the DRS sweeps by on the hanger straight and gets into third place. What a drive so far from Duffalump. Can he stay in that third place? He's even catching up to Cooper Benz, who has dropped off the back of MW. So MW's taken a gap, 2.2 ahead. I'll wait until this all quietens down. If it does quieten down, I hope it does. And I'll do a little bit of a penalty check. But Eagle now is going to be pressurising Chrismick. Chrismick's still within DRS of Duffalump, so Chrismick might have a move on Duffer. He's going to take back that third place. Making a bit of a lunge. He's not using the RS. Just stays in line. Toxic CW with a 3-second time penalty. He's got Prost catching him. So Prost is not looking out of 7th place at the moment. But he is now 12 seconds behind Fish Sticks in 6th. So 7th at best for Prost. Which I guess, all things considered, he's banking points. When things don't go your way, you still got to score some points best you can. Chrismick again hits the grass near the Magnussen Beckett's. Not going to be close enough, Eagle. But Chrismick is struggling with that corner in particular. Right, let's do a quick penalty check while I can. So MW has 1 warning. So he's clean. Cooper Benz has a penalty. Duffalump has a penalty as well. Oh, goodness me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 2 warnings. So Chrismick's going to drop down, I'm afraid. Eagle is clean. Fistix has 2 penalties. Toxic CW has 1, 2, 3. Frost is no penalties. UK Demons 2. And 40 clean at the moment. So what it does for the race is, well, basically that gives... Oh, what's happened to Duffalump? What's happened to Duffalump? Is he ghosting? Is he... He left the session? Oh, I think he has. I don't know. Oh no, it's Primus. It's Primus. Primus has left the session. Primus is far back. I was panicking there from Duffalum's point of view. Eagle's got a run on Charismic. It might be a bit too far back, yeah. Don't worry, Duffer's still in his car. Primus back into the pits. Yeah, in terms of the race, what penalties does, that puts Toxic MW in firm control at the moment. Because Cooper Benz has got a pass and get... Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Now Toxic MW, we're even up top. So Cooper Benz now has a chance. Got the gap back down to 2 seconds and we've got 4 laps to go. Eagles looking on the back of Charismic. He's going to have a run down the Wellington straight. Charismic is not good in a straight line. And Eagle uses that ERS to blast by into 4th place. Charismic though, trying to go around the outside, trying to hold it. Oh, and the gravel. Oh, he's got another penalty as well. Unfortunately, Charismic's going to drop back. Because he's got, I think, 5 now. So that moves Eagle into 4th place and does well for his championship. He's recovering nicely from last week, a difficult race. Scoring points. Remember, he started 11th. So similar to Duffalump, they've both had a very good race. So let's double check. Make sure I've got this correct. So Toxic, yeah, he got a penalty. So he's got 1. Cooper Benz has got 1, but he's a warning off of another. Dufferlump also has a penalty. Eagle is clean. So Eagle is 5 seconds of the lead. He's not in it. He's within 3 seconds of Duffer, so unfortunately Eagle will take the podium away from Duffer unless Duffer can get by Cooper Benz as it currently stands. And then Eagle is exactly 3 seconds behind Cooper Benz. So Eagle still has a chance of potentially winning this race because of the lack of penalties he has. And I think Fishsticks has had an off somewhere. I missed that. Fishsticks is in the pits and he's down to 10th place. So his race. Fishsticks. Where can you get the luck, honestly? He was looking so well. He was leading this race. He was up near the top with a Toxic MW. A slight slide at all it takes. He's in 12th though. Still get points. That moves Prost up to 7th with a chance of 6th. There is Prost actually. Catching up to Toxic CW Noreno for 6th place. And this is what we're saying about winning championships. Or what I always keep saying about winning championships. The wins help. And he's had a couple of wins, Prost. But every time he's been in this situation where things have not gone his way, because when he got clipped, he had damage in the front wing. He's managed to recover, managed to keep his head. Remember, he's on the hard tyres as well, and they're difficult to work with. And he's now managing, probably worked at this gap behind Toxic CW for a while. And he's now got a chance to take away 8 points from this. Now keep his championship lead as it stands. It'll be hit, but he'll keep it. He's still got 2 more laps to try and get by this Renault. He might have a run on him because CW had a bit of a slide up the Wennington Straight. Not going to be close enough, I don't think, this time around, but he's close enough for a move. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, if Duffer wants to be on the podium, which would be an amazing result. I mean, as I said, he's had a great drive already. Got to take my hat off to him. If I had a hat, I don't have a hat on at the moment, but really good race from Duffer so far. Good recovery from Cooper Benz as well, as it stands, and the gap's gone back up to 2.2 seconds from MW, who seems to be managing this gap now. There he is on the Ferrari. Ferrari, as it currently stands, have only had 1 point finish. That win from Leon back in Canada. Unfortunately, they lost him though as a Mercedes off. It's 40. 40's had another spin in 9th. And that's going to bring old Manzi with a chance to get him 9th place. So 40's race is dropping down a bit. Both Mercedes are. Yeah, good debut from Toxic MW so far. He's kept clean. He's had good solid race pace. Good clean manoeuvres as well. He's done all he needs to do, but he's still got a lap and a half. Don't call it just yet. But he's got a gap now. Can manage on this last lap. See how he takes it. But as it currently stands in terms of where people have penalties, Boxer will win, Cooper Benz second, and Eagle will jump. Duffer, would he jump? Does he jump? Cooper Benz 3.2, 3.1 at the moment. It's very close for Eagle to get second as it stands. It's very close. That's going to go down to the wire for second place, but we're on our last lap of this very interesting, hectic Grand Prix, and it didn't start off well with the first lap, as Eagle's now within a second of Dufferlump. He wants to get third place on track, but runs a little bit deep into turn 3. He's not going to get the run down to Wellington. Yeah, it's been a difficult start. Also got another pen. He did? How did I miss that? No. I think I think I might be confused with Toxic CW there, Total Wolf. There's you saw in the race directory, he doesn't have another one. I had to check. Had to check there. But Toxic MW just has the hanger straight and a few more corners to go. Cooper Benz is catching on this lap, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So it's just got the chicane left to go. He's just got to keep it clean, because he is one warning away from getting another penalty. Just the last chicane to negotiate, and I believe he is going to take the win. Yeah, he does. So Toxic MW takes the win in a Ferrari. Eagle does get second by 0.003 of a second over Cooper Benz. Coops drops to third. Eagle goes to second. Duffer Lump fourth place from the back of the grid. Well done, Duffer. Charismatic with a solid result in fifth. Is he going to keep fifth with the amount of penalties he has? No, he doesn't, because Prost goes to fifth. What a result from Prost. Despite everything he's gone through, he's got fifth place, and I think he'll be relatively happy with that. Charismatic drops to sixth. Toxic CW seventh. UK Demons on his first race ends up 8th in the AlphaTauri. Baldy, after a promising qualifying and a difficult race, comes home in 9th place. And Fish Sticks. Does he keep 10th at least? He does. So Fish Sticks 10th. Old Mandy was looking good in qualifying. He got caught up in something as well in 11th. And Button finished in 12th, which means Button's scoring record from Australia ends. So RSF1 Eagle now is the only driver that has scored in every round this season. Wow. What a race. So Ferrari now have 2 point scoring races. Both are wins. And I could be wrong, but I think Toxic MW will stay in the division because he wasn't too fast. He was there with people, but wow, and that was very, very close. Eagle, though, by 0.003 of a second goes to second place from 11th on the grid. What a drive from Duffer Lump from 17th to 4th as well. Prost, in the end, he gained places, but he's not going to be happy with the damage he got at the start, that's for sure, but still gets home 5th. Oh. Oh. Yay. And we get kicked off of Xbox Live right at the end. Or at least... We're not in the lobby still, are we? Nah. Right, I have to find everybody now. Right, recently played with. Here we go. So we want Toxic MW. We want not Duffer Lump, Eagle. And we want Cooper Benz. Hello. Yeah, this is the podium interview. I don't know whether you knew about this. I know this was your first race, so just waiting for the other two to join us. There we go. Make sure you tick the box, please, guys. Cool. Right, so I have to do that all by myself in the end. Oh well. Right, so third place, Cooper Benz, after that roller coaster of a race. My God. Spin in the early part of the race, when you looked to me, you were in firm control on those soft tyres. You got the start that you needed to do. It was about 4 or 5 seconds in the lead. Another spin in the Magnus and Beckett section. Recovered brilliantly, I've got to be said. And lost out in second place by 3 thousandths of a second to Eagle due to penalties. But still, another podium for yourself. You started off really well in this division and in this league, so you're going to be happy in the end, even though it was rough getting there. It's alright. No, we're not. We don't have a rating. Apparently you didn't include. Did you include your audio? Apparently people didn't hear that, or Midzi didn't hear that. Okay, Midzi didn't hear you for whatever reason. As long as someone did, that's all good. Yeah, what happened with the spin? Was it just you caught a curb on the middle part? Yeah. Well. Yeah. It happens to the best of us. Happens to me far too often. Anyway, what are you thinking about the next track? Hungary is next. Very tight, twisty circuit. Monaco without the walls, I kind of label it. So what you're thinking going into next week? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, well. Oh, blimey. Yeah, and the turn before that as well, the fast left-hander. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's called that as well. Then all the corner names, or most of them, are named after race drivers, aren't they? Like that. Anyway, well, good luck for your next race, your home Grand Prix, and yeah, well done on your third place. More points for Williams. Yes. Yes. So well done on your third place. But we go to second place for RSF1 Eagle, and well, you kept your head down from that 11th place on the grid, and the rewards are sweet because that looked like a very hectic first lap. Quite a few people with wing damage, including your teammate. So you got through it, and again kept consistent, and your reward again by 3 thousandths, beating Cooper Benz in the end to second place. Did you know how close you were to second? Yeah. Let me just bear with me for like a few seconds. I'm just gonna do a quick maths here. No, that's not right. Quick maths. Oh Jesus! I knew it. That's why I did it. This is why I did it. This is why I did it. Obviously, penalties and stewarding stuff like so on and so forth might change things, but with I missed it because I was trying to get everyone in. A few drivers weren't in the lobby, so I missed it. So I hold my hand up to that. My priority was trying to get everyone back in. So I missed it. Yeah. But yeah, reason I did the quick maths is because obviously Racing Point, the team you're rivaling in the constructors, remember they gained a little bit in Austria. So obviously you got second, and Prost managed to recover to 5th, and Dufferlump got 4th. So going into Hungary, it is now Racing Point 255 out the points. So going into Hungary, it is Racing Point 255, Alfa Romeo 255. You're on equal points now. It's... Oh, bold. That is bold. Anyway, on your own drivers' championship, you needed to recover obviously after Austria. Difficult race there, 9th place, I believe. So you recovered brilliantly for second, and because Prost had a difficult race, yes, he recovered to 5th, which, you know, he's done well for his championship because that could have been a whole lot worse. So you've gained on him, but obviously he keeps getting points whenever he's been in that situation, isn't he? I mean, you're doing it as well, but he's doing it as well, which is all good for the team, yes. But you've gained on him, obviously, and you gained on Duffer as well. So for your own purposes, it's eased a bit, hasn't it? So are you. You're now the only driver that has scored points in every round. It was you and Button, but Button was 12th. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, your thoughts on Hungary next week? Well done on your second place. Okay, and last, but certainly not least, is Toxic MW in the Ferrari. A debut race for yourself and a debut win for yourself, Toxic MW. Again, you and Toxic CW now in the same division in the same race. It's going to confuse me from now on. And I'm sure my co-com will be confused as well when he joins me. But yeah, debut race for yourself, and you handled yourself brilliantly. Good overtakes, consistent race. Obviously, you had fish sticks and group of Benz ahead that had the victory in their hands, but you were there to pick up the pieces. But still, you were fast enough to be with them, challenging towards the end. Obviously, it's a shame the things happened to them, otherwise it would have been a very interesting battle. But you kept it, you managed the gap, especially towards the end, and there's your reward. Well done on your first race. Yeah, I saw that. That was a very interesting battle between you and Krizmek. And again, you handled yourself well, and that was always the most important thing in your first race, being a new driver. But yeah, it seems to me, moving forward to these next few races, you could be obviously because you joined, winning the championship is probably not realistic. But you never know if you get a good run of form. But definitely could be giving the front runners a run for their money. Yeah. Yeah, what your thoughts into Hungary next time out is, oh, first of all, actually I've got to say, is Britain a good track for you? Mm. Yeah, and then obviously you got the corner after, I think. Wait, is it the fast left-hander you were talking about? Oh yeah. Yeah, so yeah, both those corners really. And yeah, track limits, as you say, could be quite interesting. Rain could throw up a spanner of the works. We've yet to have a wet race in F4 this season, so that could be interesting. But yeah, you're feeling good for it. Are you feeling good for it? Yeah. Well done. Well done on your first race, your debut win. So yeah, congratulations. And you got Ferrari's second points finish of the season. The last guy that got it won the race as well. He's now in F2. Don't think that's going to happen. Same thing's going to happen to you, but yeah, that's Ferrari's season so far. They've had the worst luck, but yeah, hopefully you can score some more points for the Maranello team. All right. Well, there you have it. That's been the F4 Grand Prix around Silverstone. What a very intriguing race that was. Hectic starts. Obviously, there's a few things we need to be clearing up at the end, but I'm sure they will be. But your podium for tonight's race: third place for Cooper Benz and the Williams, second RSF1 Igor in the Alfa Romeo, and your winner, Toxic MW in the Ferrari. Obviously, vote for Driver of the Day on the Twitter page, which should be up momentarily. I've been RSF from Bundle, and I will see you next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix. The first of which, as we head to the races at this interesting track, is on Sunday at 8 o'clock, where the F2 will start things off. So make sure you join us Sunday 8 PM for that. Until then, good night and take care.